another missile attack in the Middle East as Iran retaliates against a U.S. base in Qatar.
The move is escalating an already tense situation in the Middle East, and that anxiety, of course, being felt close to home.
The missile strikes come with heightened warnings of possible terror attacks abroad and at home. Webb Wright spoke to a community advocate and one woman who moved to the Palmetto State when she was 3. Both have their own perspective about the attacks. Webb?
Well, the Charleston Jewish Federation is echoing calls by national groups to stay vigilant, but also to not live in fear. While one woman from Iran says the people there already live in fear, and they are the ones suffering.
You don't know whether they are safe or not.
For Solmaz Chadwell, the attacks on Iran are personal. She moved from the country at 3 years old and still has family there.
Phone lines are down, the internet is down. It's just kind of, you're in a state of the unknown, whereas, the leader of Iran, he's protecting himself. He's down in a bunker, whereas the people are just left there fending for themselves.
Meanwhile, for groups like the Charleston Jewish Federation, concern is growing over an increase in anti-Semitic violence here at home.
New York Times just published an editorial about a week ago that showed that Jewish people were the most likely minority group in the United States to be targeted by a hate crime, and that this should be a wake-up call.
The Federation says there are 2 laws going through the South Carolina General Assembly that could help.
Pray Safe Act, and it would provide grant funding to places of worship for things like security personnel. We're asking the federal government to enhance its FBI intelligence capabilities to thwart domestic terrorism. We've been advocates for a hate crime law in our state. We've seen a bunch of local municipalities pass hate ordinances. We remain hopeful our state can pass a hate crime law. It hasn't happened in the 10 years since Mother Emanuel.
But Chadwell wants everyone to understand the Iranian people aren't to blame for the acts of their government.
They've been living under a dictatorship where they haven't been free. And, this regime that took over, it really just affected a lot of people, and not in a good way. They just no longer have the freedom. They don't have the life that we live here. I think what all Iranians are hoping for at this time, let the people choose their own government, the type of free will that they need and should be able to have there.
Now, the state hate crimes bill is still stuck in the Senate, while the South Carolina Pray Safe Act is sitting in the House Judiciary Committee. Working for you, Webb Wright, News 4.